Xavier.
All right, so time now, 6:10. So we neglected a lot of things during the pandemic, including our wardrobe.
And now that a lot of us are venturing back out, one fashionable piece of footwear is making a comeback. Rekha Mudaraj connects the dots.
Fashion insiders are noticing an interesting trend, the return of sky-high heels. Let's connect the dots. When the world went into quarantine for coronavirus, frivolous footwear got shoved into the back of the closet. Crocs and Birkenstocks made a comeback, as many of us chose comfort over looks. But with more people returning to work and traveling, heels are once again flying off shelves. The head of the Footwear Distributors and Retailers of America told the New York Times he's seeing a noticeable increase in the sale of dress shoes and that there is real concern over whether there will be enough supply for all of that demand. Makes sense since Google searches for high heels have spiked higher than a pair of stilettos in recent weeks, and people aren't just looking for any old heels. Designer footwear is in high demand. In fact, Manolo Blahnik, made famous by the patron saint of high heels, Carrie Bradshaw, announced it's bringing back its 5-inch heels, something the company hasn't sold in several years. It's a sign that as we hopefully return to normal, we will once again sacrifice comfort for a splash of style. Connecting the dots, I'm Rekha Mudaraj for KHOU 11 News.